Now is a man who may be a big part of that movement on immigration is Wisconsin Republican Congressman Paul Ryan, chairman of the House Budget Committee. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Chuck. How you doing?
I'm okay. Well, let me start with immigration, because I know it's going to be a big topic of conversation at your retreat later this week. There's going to be some circulation. I know there's some early reports. So let's start with the early report that says the plan that you guys are going to push will have a pathway to legalization but not citizenship. Is that how you understand it?
That's right, but it also involved basically a probationary kind of a status to make sure that a person is not rewarding for having broken our laws and not preferenced over people who did follow the laws, meaning legal immigrants.
But is citizenship eventually on the table?
No, I'm saying, what I'm trying to say is you've got to make sure that this isn't an amnesty. So one more point. We feel very strongly about securing the border and about legislation that guarantees that it will get secured. You mentioned in your earlier comments about the president going around Congress, about the president, not actually enforcing the laws. That's a big concern of ours these days, and as you can tell just from his statements, we have reason to be concerned. So we want to make sure that we write a law that he can't avoid, meaning with respect to securing the border and interior enforcement. So that's really important with respect to immigration while we consider all these other issues.
I want to go back to the citizenship question, though. Is citizenship, so for the folks that are here, undocumented, here illegally, is citizenship ever going to be available to them under the Republican plan?
Yeah, so no new special pathway. What this debate, particularly in the Senate bill, said is there was an actual special pathway for undocumented immigrants to get citizenship. We're not going to do that. We're looking at ideas based on these principles, which says we want a system where you can come out of the shadows, you can get a work permit, and you can be on probation, and you have to satisfy the terms of your probation while the border is getting secured, while interior enforcement. If those things are met, you satisfy the terms of your probation. You're not on welfare, you pay a fine, you learn English and civics, and the border has been secured and interior enforcement independently verified, then you can get a regular work permit. And if you want to get in line to get a green card like any other immigrant, you can do that. You just have to get at the back of the line so that we preference that legal immigrant who did things right in the first place. That's the kind of, broad brush here. That's the kind of a process we envision, which is not a special pathway to citizenship, and it's not going to automatically in any way give an undocumented immigrant citizenship. We'll give them a work permit. We'll give them probationary status. They have to earn their way to a non-probationary work permit while we make sure that we secure the border. And we do it in a way that the president can't get around it. That's what we're concerned about, which is you actually have to secure the border. You actually have to have interior enforcement. The reason we feel strongly about this is we don't want to be in this position 10 years from now, 15 years from now, like the last rounds of immigration reform. We want to fix it once and for all.
I guess, are people going to be able to look at your plan and say there is no pathway to citizenship ever for these 11 million people, or there is going to be a pathway after, say, 10 years, 12 years, something like that?
Look, this isn't even in legislative form yet, so I don't know the answer to your question, Chuck. The Speaker is working on drafting principles that resembled what I just said. And we're going to have a big debate about these principles and about how to proceed. So it's a little premature to get into those details.
Let's talk about the